All right, 410 Slugs in the Smith & Wesson Governor versus 40 Smith & Wesson. And the reason why I'm testing against 40 Smith & Wesson is because 410 Slugs are 41 caliber. So the closest in diameter is basically 40 Smith & Wesson. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to ballistic test these things. Now with our 40 Smith & Wesson, I went with a cheap ammo because these shotgun slugs are kind of a cheap ammo. So I want to just do kind of a cheap ammo comparison. So with our 40 Smith & Wesson, it is a 165 grain PMC bronze rated at 1,040 feet per second. And I'm going to test that through my 5-inch M&P pistol. With our slugs here, these are a 1/4 ounce slugs, which equal 109.375 grains. Kind of interesting how it works that way. And we have our 2.75 inch Smith & Wesson Governor. You know, a slug starts about here, so it's kind of equivalent to maybe like a 3.5 inch semi-auto, something like that. So, you know, we're going to get less barrel travel and all that, but to be realistic, you know, the Governor's the Governor. You really can't, there's not really a longer barrel version of it. So we're going to see how 410 slugs do. So we're going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. Then I'm going to do my 10% clear ballistic test. We have 4 layers of denim on the front, followed by 3 inches of clear ballistics to represent hitting a pectoral muscle, followed by a 1/4 inch MDF to represent hitting ribs of sternum. And to more clear ballistics, we'll do a shot with the MDF to see how it does, like in a chest shot simulation. We'll do it without it to see how it compares in like a gut shot simulation. And then I'm really curious about those shotgun slugs, so I'm going to shoot from 25 yards at my full-size steel silhouette to see if they're inaccurate or not. I'm just really curious about that. So let's get started with this test. All right, first up we have our 40 Smith & Wesson rated at 1040 feet per second. Let's see how close we get to 1040 feet per second at my 5-inch M&P. 978, 972, 969, 991, 973. So they're pretty optimistic about that, considering this is a longer barrel than most 40s. Let's see how our slugs compare. All right, 1/4 ounce slugs. These were rated at 1345 feet per second, but obviously that's through like a longer barrel. I'm gonna go single action with these because I don't know what to expect. I don't want to jerk my shots, you know, trying to anticipate recoil and stuff like that. And going single action kind of helps a little bit with that. So let's see what we get with our slugs. And that destroyed my chronograph. Somehow a wad destroyed my chronograph and the hole hit high. Interesting. So anyone, any of you Patreons want to help me out with that, they're about $100. I just wanted to mention my Patreons came through for me and they sent the funds over to purchase this new chronograph. This happens to be the only, you know, make and model that they had at my local store, but it seemed to work okay for me in the past. So thanks again, Patreons, for supplying this new chronograph for me after that wad went through my other one. So I'm just going to keep going for accuracy. There was absolutely no recoil at all. That was interesting. Wow, they just shoot kind of weird. All right, let's hit our ballistics gel block. We're just going to have to assume that these are shooting really slow, and we'll see what kind of performance we get. All right, first up we have our 40 Smith & Wesson. I have a piece of 3A body armor, fiberglass body armor behind some plywood in the back because historically ammo like this, that's, you know, foreign ammo, just doesn't expand very well and it penetrates really far. So let's see what we get with our 40 through our MDF. No MDF, let's see how it does. Go up and take a look. So that's really interesting because the one with the MDF, it penetrated further than the one without the MDF. And we definitely hit this right here. This is plywood on the front and it's backed by some fiberglass body armor. So it looks like it went through all the way through that plywood and hit that body armor. So that is a lot of penetration. We don't have any expansion at all. And don't have any expansion with the plain gel shot either. With that one, we're getting about 27 inches of penetration. So, you know, it makes sense. I mean, this ammo costs as much as target ammo, and you got its hollow point. So what can you expect, really? I would just get some good defensive ammo if you really want defensive ammo, not cheap stuff. So let's try that slug. All right, 410 slug through our 1/4 inch MDF. See how this will do. All right, no MDF, just our gut shot. All right, so actually what I'm seeing with that is different than what a lot of people have said about these. They say they do terrible and they don't penetrate enough. What I'm seeing is they got adequate penetration. They look like a handgun round. With our MDF shot, we got about 13 3/4 inches penetration. With no MDF, we're at right about 18.5 inches. It's kind of hard for me to see from this angle what we're working with there. I'm gonna take a look at it. You know, it's just kind of like a ball that stopped, and the damage wasn't significant, about the same as that 40. It's interesting. Let's shoot from that 25 yards, see what we get for practical accuracy. All right, 25 yards from the target. Since these are just kind of target rounds, let's see what we can get. Just kind of throwing those last ones to kind of see what would happen, and kind of do got to aim a little bit. All right, 410 here. Did I hit with this? Here's I did. I was aiming at the bottom of the target. Now have all empties. I kind of saved this to do it on camera because I don't know what to expect with ejection. It wasn't too bad. When I put them in there, they're kind of sticky at first, so thought it'd be a lot worse to eject, but they seem to do fine. Reloading, just kind of trying to drop them in. This is kind of what I was seeing when I was loading them. So they just want to kind of, they don't want to drop in, and even pushing them, they're really hard to push in. So try for some more shots at 25 yards. Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing where they're hitting. So what I want to do is I want to go back to like 50 yards, fire them single action, try to get a better feel for these rounds at that distance and see how they do. All right, 50 yards. See how our 40 does. All right, that miss was on me. Pulled that shot down. Now I'm gonna do some single action with these slugs. See what I can do in center mass. And I pulled that shot. I didn't even press on that trigger hardly. It went off. Interesting. Some of those shots were hitting really to the right, like significantly to the right. And loading again is still very difficult. Let me try some more. Yeah, That one hit about 8 feet to the left. It makes me nervous with my camera down there. So very erratic. Very erratic, not consistent at all. Up to the 40. Let me see if I can get a headshot from 50 yards. Unlikely, but why not try? Yeah, that's kind of going all over. Shooting a little high for me. All right, very interesting there. So what I can say is that 410, that was garbage. There's nothing about that that I would consider good, except for our close range ballistic performance. Even at 5 yards, they were hitting about 6, 7, 8 inches high. The wad was hitting low, and our ballistics shell, it looked like it did good, but this is that from a range that what I would consider maybe buckshot range doing well, just a few feet from the muzzle. That's the only way you can keep those rounds consistently where you want them. So if that was what you were delegated to use, you might as well use buckshot. Now at longer range, obviously if you hit with that slug, you're gonna have more energy on target. However, hitting 8 feet to the left and 6 feet to the right, again, your hit probability is about the same as buckshot. Just not very good. That 40 was garbage ammo. It was relatively accurate, but that's the same thing I see with imported ammo. Every imported ammo, it does the same thing. It over penetrates. We're doing like 36 inches of penetration plus. It's garbage. So my advice is get some like light for caliber HST or something like that, or gold dot light for caliber 165 grain if you want a good defensive load. If you're gonna use the Governor, use a good quality buckshot or some 45 Colt. So that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.